The method stays the same. Do we have y values where it's equal to 0? Yes. In this case with the parabola, we actually have two of them. You see I have one here and one here. Do we have y values in the original graph that were equal to 1? Yes. Right there and right there. Next, can you square root any nice numbers? Well, can you see if I went across here at 4, my y value is at 4, I would have a y value of 4 right here and right there. If I square root of those, what would I get? I would get 2 right about there and 2 right about there. Between 0 and 1, slightly above. This one's really hard to do anything more than just draw it right on top of the line without officially going back in time. Do you see that in the middle section here, I didn't draw anything in blue? Because that's where my red graph is negative. You cannot square root a negative number. So all we do is label 0 and 1s, slightly above and below. And what makes square root graphing difficult is that looks really different than a regular square root graph, right? This is totally new shape. And you're like, are parabolas always like this? No. Our next parabola is going to look totally different when we square root it. This one's a little tricky for domain. You have two options. Okay? In set notation, we would say this left part is when x is less than or equal to 1. And the right part is when x is bigger than or equal to 5. And when it can be in either section, we write the word or in between. Careful that you don't write the word and. And means it has to be in both at the same time. Can you tell me a number that is both less than 1 and bigger than 5? No, there is no such number. No.
Infinity doesn't work?
No.
Infinity is everything.
No. No.
I broke the
No.
rules.
Yeah. Okay. So we use the word or. If we write this in interval notation, teach you something new. Here, you gotta write your infinity. If you like interval notation, you gotta write negative infinity to 1. Since 1 is included, we have a square bracket. Then 5 to infinity would be a square bracket again. Bigger than would go all the way up to infinity. And there is a mathematical symbol for or. It's a big U. This is the mathematical symbol for or. This is the mathematical symbol for and. I always remember this kind of looks like an A if you drew a line. So this is A for and U for or. I don't know. Maybe. Helps me remember it. So that is the mathematical symbol for or. So you could choose whichever way you write it, but the range of this one is still the y values are bigger than or equal to 0. Okay, second one. We have another parabola. Do we have any places where the y value is 0? Yes. Do we have any places where the y value is 1? Yes. Do we have any nice values? In fact, this one, the biggest value is 9. When I square root that, does it make sense that the biggest value of the original one, when you square root, is going to be the biggest value of your square root? It's going to be at 3. And when I draw slightly above, again, this is really hard. All you can basically do is go right on top. Slightly above. There we go. That's what the square root of that parabola looks like. Isn't that totally different than the square root of the first parabola? Weird. And for this second one, whoops. For this second one, what is my domain? I could either write that the x values are between -3 and 3, or I could write this in interval notation like this for the domain. And the range goes from 0 to 3. What happens if you have something like this? I'm going to add a part C. I'm going to get you to graph y equals the square root of x squared plus 4. So if you have the equation and not the graph, the first thing you do is you draw the inside graph. What does x squared plus 4 look like? Parabola, shifted up 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would have, I'll draw it in red to be consistent. It would have 0, 4 and be a parabola that opens up like this, right? We have a problem because the first step that we did in these questions was label where y is 0 and 1. There is no zeros and ones. So there's no points that stay the same. Is there any nice points? Yes. I could square root 4, I would get 0, 2. And this would be what my graph looks like in the end. Totally different shape than the first one. Okay, questions for number 2. You can circle number 8.